chill out.
Oh wow!
Oh, fucking hell.
What is she doing?
Oh!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with more disturbing videos, a compilation of videos that are going to make you question everyone. Let's check this out. Here we have a jewelers on Edgware Road being robbed in pure daylight. Let's check this out.
Give me what?
Bang, bang, don't leave nothing, bro. Come, bro.
At that point, it wasn't enough. The guy wasn't finished. He's thinking, where's his boy gone? I mean, at this point, his adrenaline's pumped. He's also anxious at the same time. He's got a number of eyes watching him. He turns around, sees his boy gone. At this point, he realizes the man is filming him. And right there on the floor, you can see the sledgehammer that they've left behind.
Don't you dare talk to my daughter like that.
What do you mean you shouldn't have to ask me? I was listening to a voice note on my phone. Why can't my volume be up?
Excuse me, don't be rude. For a man of your age, you're very rude. Turn around, please. Nobody's interested in old men moaning. Don't tell her what to do neither. I pray to God you've not got. I pray to God you've got no children or grandchildren.
Whoa. Okay. Let's understand what is happening here. So what it says on the screen is, we were on a coach to Lake District 3 hours long. Strange male shouted, demanding my daughter turn her phone down. She was doing nothing wrong. Full bus, then start. Who do you agree with? Of course, don't tell my daughter what to do. Or him, he stated, wear earphones. From this standpoint, I see no problem with that. It's public transport. If your music's too loud on your phone, then please can you just turn it down, because we all don't want to listen to what you've got going on your phone.
Treating young kids like that. Bully, go away. Talk to you like that.
Am I filming you? It's alright to speak like that. Oh, turn around, don't.
That's all. Excellent.
Some people like seriously, it's shocking, isn't it?
And she's filming him. This is wild. So what makes this even more wild is that not only is this guy asking her to turn her music down on public transport, but she's even got her feet all over the chair like she's at home. And then you film the guy and put him on the internet all because he asked you to turn your music down. And the same goes for voice notes. If you've got a voice note and you're on public transport, put your headphones in. Have some respect for the other people that are on that bus.
Shocking, isn't it? Like, really shocking. I can't believe it. This world.
It's nastiness though. You know, your age and stuff, it's very nasty.
I'm not shocking. Stop speaking to a little girl.
Everyone's listening to music, you're doing no harm. God help his little kid out what she's brought up like. No,
I spent all my money off. We literally got the tenner boss. I'm so sorry, mate.
We don't have 90 quid to spend on it. I don't have. You've dropped us 2 minutes off the road. I'm going to walk that in 2 minutes. Do you mean? I get
Man
that.
tried to charge them £90 for a 2-minute journey in central London on a bike. On the back of a bike, he tried to finesse them.
I'm not paying. I can't pay
want to give you
£90.
money, but I don't have 60. I've literally got like 25 pounds.
Look what he's traveling on. 90 quid. £90. This is straight up. I haven't had no customers for about 2 weeks. I need to recoup every single penny finesse. That's the type of finesse this is.
That's why I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the money. Like, that's why I was quiet. I thought it was like a tenner, not 90 quid. I know it is. I'm so sorry, but that's why I asked prior.
Where do you travel from?
Bristol.
No, on this journey.
Literally just.
Literally from the Disney shop. It was.
Disney shop on Oxford Street.
Yeah.
To here.
Oxford Street.
So
to here.
5 minutes.
2 minutes.
How much does he want?
£90.
£90.
£90.
Wow.
I don't
For
have
that?
money. I've got no drama as far as like
£90.
that's the max I can do. I don't have that sort of
You're
money.
literally trying to
Like,
finesse.
sorry.
£90 from Oxford Street.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, boss.
If he knows
£90.
that's why he's not even trying to look at the guy with the phone in his hand. He knows.
How much? How much?
25 quid.
£25 for 5 minutes.
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
For 25 minutes, yes.
What, from Oxford Street to here?
It's down around the corner.
And
Wow.
then he lies.
Well, of course I'm filming.
And then he lies. 90 quid. 90 quid. Ah, £90. That is crazy. Carried out of the car. This is a mad car crash that took place in Piccadilly Circus a few days ago. And these guys must have been taking balloons. There must have been. This crash is absolutely absurd. He's not even the driver. Looking into the car because he's trying to find things that these guys might have. DRUGS, I don't know. Look at that. The whole lamppost, bro. Look at the lamppost. Wow. Look, the wires, everything got taken out of the ground. How the hell did the car pull the whole lamppost out of the road? What type of miles per hour was you guys doing? In Piccadilly Circus, you can't even pick up that much speed. How the hell did you pick up that much speed to crash like this? This makes no sense. Whoa. I'm trying to find some context for what actually happened here. And the first thing I see is this, a picture of a number plate falling out of the car. How many number plates do these frauds have? I'm sure some of you guys will remember this story right here. It hit the headlines a number of months ago. In fact, we reacted to the footage of the guy in yellow waving the samurai sword around. Unfortunately, that day, this young kid, Daniel, lost his life because this monster that you can see on the screen, Marcus Monzo, 37, this young kid to death whilst on his way to school in Hainault last year. An absolute horrendous situation that took place. And you guys will remember the footage, but this is the guy right here. He's been found guilty of 3 attempted murders. It's also been mentioned that he skinned his cat. He skinned his cat and killed his cat before he went on to murder Daniel. Now, we've got another sad one here, ladies and gentlemen. A YouTuber has been found guilty of murdering his wife. It says right here that he stabbed his wife 25 times. 25 times. And this is all whilst she was on the street pushing her son in the pram. He went to court. He tried to plead guilty to manslaughter and possessing a bladed weapon, but the jury found him guilty of murder. That's right, absolutely disgusting. Let's quickly check this out.
She was pushing her 7-month-old son in his pram. In April of last year, 27-year-old Kulsuma Akhtar was walking along here, Westgate in Bradford. At the time, she was pushing her 7-month-old son in his pram. Unfortunately, in April of last year, 27-year-old Kulsuma Akhtar was walking along here, Westgate in Bradford. At the time, she was pushing her 7-month-old son in his pram. Unfortunately, and despite several conditions imposed upon him, her estranged husband, Habiba Massam, had tracked her down and approached her. He grabbed the pram, and it was here where they have a short conversation, only a few moments, where we believe that he is trying to entice Kulsuma back into their relationship. And when she rejected that idea is when the unthinkable happened. Massam grabbed a knife from his jacket and he repeatedly stabbed her in what can only be described as a sustained and horrific attack. Many people tried to help her, but unfortunately she died from her injuries. Massam then calmly walked away as though nothing had happened.
Wow.
He walked through the streets of Bradford and he caught a bus up to the Killinghall Road area of Bradford, where we believe he then used further public transport to facilitate his escape from Bradford. The next 24 hours in the investigation was crucial. There was a lot of hard work and a significant amount of CCTV trawling, which essentially enabled us to identify and then formally name Habiba Massam as the suspect in Kulsuma's murder. and a national manhunt was then set up by the Homicide and Major Inquiry Team within West Yorkshire.
Suspect in this investigation, whose details have been widely circulated, and we are doing everything in our power to locate him. We've been overwhelmed with public support, and I would like to thank everyone who has so far assisted with our investigation.
Over the next 72 hours, my team were able to track Massam 175 miles south of Bradford to the Aylesbury area. Armed police officers were then able to effect his arrest in the early hours of Tuesday, the 9th of April, and he was quickly brought back to West Yorkshire, where he was charged with murder and several other offences. More than 400 exhibits and 250 hours of CCTV, and of course several other lines of inquiry were captured as a result of the investigation.
You've just left your son or your daughter without a mother. That child is now going into foster care and is never going to see their mum again. How traumatizing and damaging that's going to be for the child. Absolutely disgusting, man.
That was used to piece together the moments leading up to Kulsuma's death and the immediate aftermath. And that was subsequently used by the prosecution in order to successfully convict Massam of murder. Massam took Kulsuma away from her son in the most horrific way, and our thoughts remain with him and her family.
But this one here is extremely interesting, ladies and gentlemen. As we can see on the screen, prisoners paying £500 for KFC. You must be thinking, what do you mean they're paying £500 for KFC? Yeah, prisoners are using screws and using various other staff within prisons to sneak them in drugs, food, anything that they want, phones, anything that they want. And they'll pay whatever the screw demands, literally. Let's check this out.
She wants to say to you 500 quid and you really want it, you're going to pay her 500 quid for a KFC bargain bucket.
The standard food in prison isn't great. You can buy more food from the canteen if you have the money. And Nathan knows of prisoners who would pay any price for home comforts with the help of a prison officer.
I've seen it so many times, so many different occasions. It could have been like a Nando's from outside or a KFC. It could be phones, it could be drugs, it could be anything. We call it patterning up with them. I'll show you a couple of videos that I've got, bits and bobs that we used to.
Oh wow.
Krispy Kreme donuts, alcohol, Ciroc, Bossier.
Living in prison.
That's nuts, man. Because I'm thinking that how have they got that onto the wing?
It's like night officers. They could come through. I said it could be the day officers.
And how much would someone pay for like a bucket of KFC, for example?
Again, that all depends on the officer. If she wants to say to you 500 quid and you really want it, you're going to pay her 500 quid for a KFC bargain bucket.
That's an expensive
KFC, boy.
Is it mainly female officers or is it a mixture?
It's a mixture. It could even be your healthcare workers. It could be your education teachers. It could be anybody. And then yeah, we text them, and then once you've built a relationship with them on the phone, you sort of change it over to how much money do they want back. Might this be a packet of Rizzlers for £100, 200 quid.
Wow, imagine that, paying 100 quid for a packet of Rizzler.
Change so much these days. They're getting younger and younger, so they've got no life experience.
Yeah, naive, and they're easy targets. It says here, while the vast majority of most prison staff are honest, we are catching more of the small minority who break the rules through our counter-corruption unit and stronger vetting. Where officers fall below our high standards, we do not hesitate to take robust action. And that's according to a prison service spokesperson. All right, here we have a recent raid on a cannabis farm. And this takes me back a number of years because I used to raid cannabis farms, so that you know. Anyway, let's check this one out.
This is in 4.
Yep, okay.
Police officer! Police! Police! Police with taser! Police with taser! Police officers! Someone take right. Yeah. Police officers! Police!
Right out the back door. Wow, they've got a big space there though. Multiple exits.
Police!
Hello?
Yeah, come through to the right, please. Got someone inside.
They sound so soft when they're saying police.
Is it just you? Okay, keep your hands where I can see them. So
Time is 7:46. You're both under arrest on suspicion of production of cannabis, alright? You do not have to say anything about harm or offence if you do not mention when questioned, something you may later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand?
I bet people watching this thinking they were going to see some black kids. For those that don't know, ladies and gentlemen, in the UK, this is the typical person that would be growing cannabis.
Both been arrested, 7:46. Okay, Tim?
Hello.
Got two. They've both been arrested.
Hello, show me hands.
7:54, two arrested. Can you do time arrest 7:46?
Right, if you put your hands behind your back for us, I'll put you in cuffs, right?
Necessity for your arrest is searches, alright, and prevent disappearance.
This is the moment this man was arrested for attacking his partner, beating her up with a hammer and a bike lock. Absolutely wild. Let's check this out.
What have you been up to today then?
Nothing, just going to go out in a minute.
Where did you plan on going?
Oh, into the town centre. Just had some problems outside, she got attacked by someone.
When was that?
The other day in Rostock.
So what kind of pain is she in then?
I don't know, she's saying she's in pain.
Pain like as in we need to get an ambulance here for her, or?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
She's a bad way to beat her up really badly.
Really?
Yeah. But...
Wow, he's talking about himself, you know.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. At the minute, I'm arresting you on suspicion of causing GBH, okay? What? Do you have to say anything to make any defence? Do you want suspicion? I'm going to later on in court. Anything you do say may be
Man said what and how. It's not even funny. I sincerely hope the victim's okay, but the way he just tried to play that about what and how. What do you mean what and how? You knew exactly what and you know exactly how. The cheek of it.
Quite low one. Last one.
It says here he was jailed for life, but he was sentenced to 13 years. Life is 30, 40 plus years, bro. I don't know why people are dishing out 13-year sentences and saying, life. We're giving you life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you need to fasten your seatbelts because it is about to kick off in Morrison's. Let's check this out. Oh! Wow!
Wow!
Oh no!
Oh, chill out!
Oh wow!
Oh, fucking hell!
What is she doing?
Oh!
Oh wow! What is wrong with you? Off, scrapping! The figure four leg lock. Now this story right here, ladies and gentlemen, is extremely interesting. A man has been found guilty of murder and grape in one of the UK's oldest cold cases. Ryland Headley, 92 years old, was found guilty of murdering and graping Louisa Dunn in 1967. We've got a video here of his interview, so let's check this out.
Can you tell me how Louisa died?
No, comment.
Did she die as a result of your actions?
No, comment.
And if so, what were your actions?
No, comment.
Was it an accident?
No, comment.
Did you go in that house intending to kill her?
No, comment.
So Louisa was found, as I said, lying on the floor in that same room, having been raped. She also had a scarf on her neck and a stocking. I think the scarf was underneath her neck, round the back, and the stocking over the top.
No, no.
Okay. Can you tell me how those items got there?
No comment.
Did you use those items to strangle Louisa?
No comment.
Did you use anything else?
No comment.
I mean, this is so crazy how this is caught up with him 50 plus years later. It took place in the 1960s, but it's also been said that in the 1970s, he was arrested for grape and essay on further women. I believe this would have been in the late 70s. Now, I'm not too sure if he was found guilty of those crimes, but he's definitely been found guilty of this one. It basically says here that the center of a breakthrough was a blue skirt, and that was bagged and labeled by a police officer all those years ago. We're talking about 50 years ago. And then it was rediscovered by Joe Smith from the Avon and Somerset Police's major crime review unit, who reopens the box. Inside, she found a skirt Mrs. Dunn had worn the night she died. She told the Daily Mail that they understood they were potentially sitting on something that could finally yield answers. And that's because the skirt held semen stains. And from that, forensic scientists were able to extract a complete DNA profile, and that's thanks to the modern techniques that were lacking back in the 1960s. But when that DNA was uploaded to the national database, it pinged a match to 92-year-old Rylan Headley. And although I mentioned back in the 1970s he was arrested for further graping and essay on further women, it was only in 2012 for a different incident where they were able to get their hands on his DNA through a swab test at the police station. And that's the reason why they had his DNA on the database. After 50 years of committing such a heinous crime, he is bagged at 92 years old. Can't imagine how many other women out there would have been affected by this disgusting predator. But like they say, better late than never. I need to know exactly what you are thinking after watching those videos right there. Make sure you leave all your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Hit the like button, do subscribe to the channel if we're newly watching. Got plenty more videos uploading like this. So again, make sure you hit the like button, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.